What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, getting into some Above the Law, one of my favorite groups of all time. All right, Amir, so we're back here on The Great Debaters. And always, please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. We appreciate your guys' success getting unique access and entertainment this far. So please hit that subscribe button right down there. Tell a friend, get your friends to subscribe, and help us keep growing so we can keep coming to you guys as often as possible. Now today, Amir and I are going to be talking about Vocally Pimpin'. Above the Law's first and only EP came out in 1991. So Amir, when you were first getting familiar with this project, what were you thinking?
So I was especially drawn to this project because I remember reading about everything going on. As everyone should know, I was when I first started listening to hip hop seriously, N.W.A was like the first group that I really listened to, and Above the Law, obviously being from the same family tree of N.W.A, also became one of my favorite groups ever. And I was especially intrigued by this because I was reading on a lot of like blogs at the time that this was the EP where like G-Funk was introduced, and Above the Law, created G-Funk and, just everything. And at that time I had actually heard The Chronic before I'd heard this, and I was, just like so many other people, I loved the production on that, and I loved G-Funk and everything. And so I was especially intrigued to hear all of Above the Law's work. And then I also really wanted to hear Vocally Pimpin'. So I was intrigued as well because it's an EP, but then it has, remixes and instrumental and blah, blah, blah. So it's like a longer EP, but a lot of it is kind of like the same stuff, just, remix or instrumental. But moving on, I'll go ahead and get into my first pick, or my only pick, my top pick, which would be For the Funk of It. This song, one, I really like because of the funkadelic sample, the One Nation Under a Groove. I just really liked, and I may have heard Bop Gun before I've heard this, actually, so I'm like all out of order. But I really liked how Above the Law as a group were singing and taking that, and Cocaine also had a feature on here too, and I just liked how they were all harmonizing and rapping it. And then I liked Cole 187, how he just comes on the mic and he's got like the high pitched voice, and I think Cole 187 is an awesome rapper producer. He's definitely up there as one of the greats in my opinion.
I agree. For
many reasons. I mean, his production is top notch. His rapping is also awesome. So I like how he's doing what he's doing. One thing that intrigued me is, I guess this is just my ignorance, but I just assumed Cole 187 was a gang member. I thought he was affiliated. But in the song, he says he's not a gangbanger, but, he does sell drugs. So I was like, okay, well, that's why people are saying he has a lot of money, or they assumed, or whatever. But, so I like his rapping all throughout the song. And then KMG is coming in and inserting a line here and there, And I thought, I just like how Cole 187, KMG is also doing like some ad-libs throughout the song. And you can tell, like, although Cole 187 is rapping through most of the track, you can tell like they're all in the same place at the same time, contributing and doing everything. This is like a total group effort on this track. And then especially like with the singing and all them harmonizing together, I thought that made for an awesome song on For the Funk of It. And definitely this is my most played song on the EP.
Alright, well, I love this song. It's not my pick for the best track on Vocally Pimpin', but the fact that it's on here, 3 times out of 9, it's on a third of the project, I always thought was hilarious. So It's good that if you like this song, you get a lot of chances to enjoy it in different ways. And getting to know Cole 187, aka Big Hutch, shout out to him as always, one of my friends. But it's always great to hear people celebrate him like we do here on The Great Debaters, as we've done with a lot of Above the Law and Above the Law affiliated type of things, because they're phenomenal and one of, in my opinion, rap's best and most important groups. And that leads into my pick, which is Wicked, because I always like political, social commentary type of things, and I think Above the Law does a brilliant job of that on Wicked, which, you know, we touched on a little bit with freedom of speech on Living Like Hustlers. And then when we get to Black Mafia Life and Uncle Sam's Curse, what we really see with Wicked in particular, we get, I think, a deeper, more sustained exploration of that. So it, to me, was one of the early examples of what was going to be coming, you know, foreshadowing, basically, as to what Above the Law was going to be doing more and more of. And I think that when Cole 187 gets political, I think his insights are great, because even though he's from the Los Angeles area, being from Pomona, they're a little bit outside of what was going on in LA directly, even though I know from talking to Hutch and knowing him over the years that, you know, they come in obviously a lot to LA, but they're from Pomona. And that difference gives them a little bit of a different perspective, and also on the hustling, drug dealing side of things as opposed to the gangbanging side of things. So, you know, when they're examining society and how society works and different layers and perspectives of it, I think it just adds a lot to the EP, and it also adds a lot to Above the Law's legacy, which is why I think they're such a great group, because for the funk of it, they do and explore that and refine it, refry it, represent it expertly, I think, and do it time and time again. And then we also see their ability to really hone in on, focus on, and give some interesting perspective and insight on our country, on criminals, on basically just our whole society, which I think is excellent, man. And then I like the fact that it is an EP, and as we saw with 100 Miles and Running, we get a commercial for Black Mafia Life. I wanted to shout that out, even though it's not one of my picks, or my pick, I should say. I just think it was cool that, like N.W.A did, now Above the Law, that Eazy-E and Ruthless and these artists were very aware of the fact that they wanted to promote not only what they were doing, but what they were going to be doing. And I always thought that was pretty clever, awesome, and then ironic and hilarious all at the same time.
And also unrelated, but kind of related, his Hypnotized Mind shirt. 3-6 Mafia and Co. are also great at having their intros and outros promoting and doing all that for their next releases and past releases. But I had to shout out 3-6 when I could.
As you should. Just showing up, I'm shouting them out.
Yeah. But Above the Law, man, honestly, I can't wait till we talk about more of their music and their next albums, because it gets really, really good.
And I think it's important to just consider that these guys, Cole 187, KMG, K-Oss, and Gomac in particular, and then Laylaw. Shout out to Laylaw as always. But these guys were around and helping to create some of the best rap music in history. And then on top of that, they then created and established a blueprint for a lot of what is today regarded as the best rap music. And they created some of it. And that's, to me, Above the Law's legacy, and why they're so important, and why Amir and I love Above the Law, and why on Unique Access Entertainment, why on The Great Debaters we're often talking about Above the Law or referencing Above the Law or Cole 187, because it's just phenomenal. And shout out to Cocaine, of course, and rest in peace KMG as always. But Above the Law, man, if you guys aren't familiar with Vocally Pimpin', start with Living Like Hustlers, and make sure you spend some time with Vocally Pimpin' to really understand the greatness that you hear and what you're about to see with Black Mafia Life, Uncle Sam's Curse, and so on and on and on. But there it is. That's my pick for Vocally Pimpin'. You guys got Amir's pick. As always, hit us in the comment section and subscribe. Please get at least one of your friends to subscribe to Unique Access Entertainment so we can keep growing, get to that number one spot in the game, and we appreciate your guys' support. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Vocally Pimpin', y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
I'm 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
What's that 5 on your TV back with N.W.A?
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.